Today I'm gonna present how to configure the explicit deny EPM rule with Microsoft Intune. And this is the new update. Before I start, let me give a quick intro about me, myself, Vaishnav. I have been in the IT industry almost 11 plus years. SCCM, Intune, modern device management solution are my key focus area. I write and impart my technical blog and knowledge via community and my LinkedIn channel. And this is my LinkedIn handle. You can feel free to follow me over here as well. Let me move to my first slide. So regarding agenda, we have few agendas for today. The first one is what is EPM. So I'll just briefly explain what EPM is and the prerequisite and the requirement of endpoint privilege management. Then we will check only the elevation rule policy. I think as Anup said earlier, I already took almost 3 to 4 EPM in detail EPM session. So you can refer my old sessions and old session videos as well. That also available in HTMD YouTube channel. And I'll also discuss the EPM new addition, that is EPM rule explicitly deny the elevation. And we'll also check the EPM Tools PowerShell Module. So we need to run some command to get some attribute results. So that's the reason I just covered this topic today. And after that, we'll jump into a quick demo and we'll create an EPM explicitly deny rule policy. And we'll also check the end user experience. And at the end, you have an opportunity to ask your questions. You can unmute yourself and ask your questions, or you can put your questions over the chat. I can happy to help you over there. Yeah. So regarding the endpoint privilege management and EPM. So with Microsoft Intune, endpoint privilege management, your organization user can run as a standard user without admin rights. And they can complete the required elevated task without any interruptions. So those tasks are commonly related to application install, updating device drivers, or running certain Windows diagnostic. And the EPM concept all related to the zero trust principle, right? So EPM support the zero trust principle or zero trust journey of your organization to have a broader user base running with least privilege, and while allowing user to run tasks that allowed by your organization and remain productive. So whatever your organization is allowing, so those tasks or those application only the standard user can run. And the upcoming slide, I'll discuss about the EPM functional overview and other capability, how it works, and it's more related to EPM rule policy. And this applies to only Windows environment as of now, and it will support Windows 10 and Windows 11 operating system. Okay, and the next slide, I just mentioned about the prerequisite and the requirement of EPM. So if you are opting for EPM endpoint privilege management, an additional license required beyond the Intune Plan 1. If you are going for a trial license also, so the initial license will be Intune Plan 1. So on top of that, you can opt for an additional license, a standalone additional license, which will only cover EPM, or you can opt for Microsoft Intune Suite that will also capable to cover the other functionality. So both are choosable. And Microsoft Entra joined or Microsoft Hybrid Entra joined, both devices are supported for EPM, and Microsoft Intune enrolled or Microsoft Configuration Manager, that is co-managed devices, are supported. So if you're using a co-managed device environment, so there is no workload shift is required. And there is one more other condition, clear line of sight without SSL inspection for the required endpoints. That is nothing but some TCP 443 port and some Microsoft URL. So usually it won't block in case if you're using some proxy, or so you make sure those URLs are accessible. So that is the only requirement. And regarding the supporting operating system, Windows 11 24H2, Windows 11 23H2 with the mentioned KB number 5031455, Windows 11 22H2 with KB 5029-351 and Windows 11 21H2 with KB 5034121. And for Windows 10, both 21 and 22H2 with the minimum KB number 5030211. So that is the supporting operating systems. And in the next slide, I just mentioned about few important points. Again, it's mainly focusing on the role policy. Endpoint privilege management only support with 64-bit operating system, and this include the Windows ARM. So Windows ARM 64 is the latest addition. Previously it won't support, now it supports. And Windows 365 PC, that is cloud PC, is supported with a supported operating system. And workplace joint devices are not supported by EPM, and Azure Virtual Desktop AVDI it's not supported for endpoint privilege management for now. Regarding the government cloud support, US government cloud, community cloud GCC High and US Department of Defense DoD both are supported. Regarding the RBAC role supported, there is few explicit roles are there, inbuilt roles, that is endpoint privilege manager having a capability to manage everything. Complete EPM administration, and there is one more read-only role, that is endpoint privilege reader. So these two are the explicit role only for EPM. On top of that, you also can leverage the other built-in role related to security, that is endpoint security manager having the similar capability of endpoint privilege manager, and the read-only operator having the similar capability of endpoint privilege reader. So those you can read and view the policy and stuff like that. So in this slide, just mentioned about the EPM, or what is elevation rule policy is. An elevation rule policy links an application or task to an elevation action and use this policy to configure a behavior of application your organization allow or deny. Previously, we will only call it as allow because deny is the latest add-on. So now we have to call either allow or deny when the application run on the device. And create a rule that set a condition for allowing just-in-time access or apps and file on the Windows endpoints. So that's all about the elevation rule policy. And EPM rules explicitly deny elevation. So this is the latest add-on. So what exactly it means? EPM elevation rule now included a new file elevation type of deny. An elevation rule set as deny blocks the specific rule running from an elevated context, and it's recommended to use file elevation rule to allow user to elevate specific files. So a deny rule can help you to ensure that certain file, likely potentially malicious software, can't be run on with an elevated context. So that is the main use case for this particular add-on. And the deny rule support the same configuration option as other elevation types, except for the child processes, which are not used. So that is one point. And this feature introduced from the Intune service release 2505 onwards. And regarding the child process control, when the processes are elevated by EPM, you can control how the creation of the child process is governed by EPM, which allow you to give a granular control over the child process or sub processes. So once you're running an application, there might be some additional process also running in background. Some vendors so regarding some vendor application, we need to really contact them to identify those processes. So those sub processes also might be created by the elevation application. So that is regarding the child process controls. And in this slide, just mentioned about the EPM PowerShell module. So what exactly it is? Each device that receive EPM policy install the EPM Microsoft agent to manage those policy, and these agent includes the EPM Tools PowerShell module, a set of commandlets. It's a commandlet specifically for EPM that you can import to the device, and you can use the commandlet to commandlet from EPM Tools to diagnose and troubleshoot the issue with EPM, and get file attribute directly from a file or application for which you want to build a detection rule. I mean the rule policy here. The EPM tool module is available for any device that receive the EPM policy. So EPM policy here is settings policy, because without settings policy, we can't manage the EPM, we can't configure the EPM because that is the default policy. And to import the EPM tools PowerShell module, a basic command, import module, and you can find the module available on C program file, Microsoft EPM agent, EPM tools, and under that EPM commandlet.dll. So that's the path for import EPM module. And I also mentioned about some commandlets, some important commandlets in EPM tools PowerShell module. So that is something like get policies and get elevation rules, get file attributes, get client settings, and get the declared configuration and declared configuration analysis. So if you want a more detail about these module, I mean the commandlets, you can also refer the readme.txt file in the EPM tool folder on the device. I'll also show this particular folder once I start the demo. So these are about the EPM commandlets points, and I think let's jump to a quick demo. Just give me a sec. All right. So right now I just log into Intune Admin Center and navigate to Endpoint Security, Endpoint Privilege Management, and here you can find the Policy tab over here. So click on Policy. So before I start the elevation rule policy, I mean the rule policy, right? The explicit deny policy. I just wanted to show you one default settings that I configured. Actually, these elevation settings will trigger the EPM to the device. So right now the policy is successfully configured, and you can see the settings. It's based on the support approve method. I think I already took a session regarding this support approve method also. So right now, how the default behavior is, any application when a standard user is trying to elevate, they need to put a business justification over that pop-up, and it will go to Intune portal, and Intune admin can verify that elevation, and they can either allow or deny based on the elevation request. So that's the default process. All the um, binaries or all the application should have that prompt. So on top of that, what right now I'm going to do is the latest add-on, that is explicit deny rule policy. So I'll just create on the same tab itself, you can see the create policy. I'll just click on create policy, and the platform is Windows, and the profile is elevation rule policy. I'll just click on elevation rule policy and click on create. Just wanted to give a name here. So that is HTMD explicitly deny EPM elevation rule policy. Just give some meaningful name, and the platform by default it's set as Windows. If you want to give any description, you can give that description also over there, and click on next. This is the main configuration settings pane. So you can see privilege management option here. Click on that. So by default, the elevation rule policy is configured for user confirm. It's not configured, it gives that pop-up like the elevation type is user confirm. So you can also see one option over here under configuration settings, edit the instance. So click on that, and here we go. The rules policy, the elevation rule policy configuration pane. So first we need to give a rule policy name. So before that, I just wanted to let you know that right now what I'm doing is I need to block VNC Viewer. I need to block VNC Viewer with the deny all. I mean the deny all elevation type. So for that, I just give a VNC Viewer deny rule. I just give a name, VNC Viewer deny rule, and description is optional, and you can see the main settings over here, elevation condition. So currently it is user confirm, and previously we only had an option like automatic and support approved. Now you can see the deny option over here. I'll just check click that particular option, deny, and this is the child process behavior. So as I already discussed in my PPT presentation, so there is other options also available, allow all child processes to run elevate, and deny all and not configure. But it's always recommend to have the similar configuration in case there is no other impact. So you can always check the same elevated type uh, what you give in the main policy. So right now I gave a deny elevation for the elevation type. So better I can give same configuration, deny all for the child process as well. And this is the main file information tab, and here it is asking for the file. So I need to give the file name. For that, I'll go to my test PC. It's a cloud PC actually. Navigate to downloads. You can see some application I already downloaded and kept yesterday. And right now what we are doing, we only need to block the VNC viewer. I'll just copy that file name and paste it over here, including the extension. And this rule could increase the security risk for your organization by allowing a wide range of app to have an elevation privilege. Try to add more file attribute to narrow down the scope of the rule. So Microsoft is recommending to have maximum, I mean the file information settings that will give a most granular result. So right now the file name is mandatory. You can see a star over here, and the file path. I can either give the file path. It's in downloads, but for now I'm not giving that file path since it's a test environment. And regarding the signature source, signature source also we have already discussed. So right now I am not going to configure any signature source, and I'll configure this option as not configured. And the other mandate option is file hash. Okay, so we need to find the file hash of this particular file. So for that, I'll go back to the test PC again, and I'll open PowerShell with admin. And first and foremost, as I already discussed, we need to import the module. So I already imported, but I'll show you once again. So the command is basic command import module, and we need to check the file path, right? So it's on C, program files. The program file, you can see the Microsoft EPM agent. Under that, it's EPM Tools and the EPM Commandlet.dll. So I'll copy as path. I'll copy the DL as path, and I'll paste it over here. So this will import our module. So right now the EPM module is imported, and the other task is we need to find the file attributes. So for that I want to use some command. So which since we already imported the EPM module, it will take that command as well. So the command is get file attributes. Yes, file attributes and file path. I will paste the file path over there. So right now we are only concentrating on the VNC Viewer. I'll just copy this one, just copy as path and paste it over here. All right. So right now the command is executed, and you can see the result, right? So it will also give the file name, file path, hash value, algorithm, product name, internal name, file version, description, and company name, etc. So as I already discussed, you can also have an option to get other commandlets also. For right now, the use case is we need to get the file hash. Otherwise, you can have a command like get. If you only want the file hash, I think that command also available. Let me check. Yes, get file hash, and if you paste the path here, it should give the exact file hash of that particular application. So right now anyone you can use it. So I'll just go for this file hash value. I'll copy this one and go back to Intune portal, and I'll paste it over here. So right now the file hash value we imported here, and we can see the other minimum version, file description, and the product name, internal name, etc. So right, so that's the reason I didn't went directly with the file hash. If you're running if you run the file attribute value, you can get all these values at one time. So right now I only want the file hash. If you want, you can add these values as well. So the minimum version, file description, everything you can able to see over here, the file description, file version, everything. And um, the restrict argument. So this is also one of the latest edition, not in the 0.5 version. Before that it got added. So if you know some restricted argument, something like a // update, or know about that app, you can also configure that allowed arguments. So for now I am just configuring it as, I'm not configuring this option, and I'll click on save. So right now our deny policy is elevation rule deny policy is configured, and I'll click on next. Here is the scope tag. Since it's a lab environment, I'll go with the default option. If you are trying it in your production environment, you can select the scope tag accordingly. And under assignment, under the next pane, I'll just include the my cloud PC Windows 11. So that I added, and I have one device here. So we'll click next, and this is the last setting, review and create. We need to carefully review the settings that we configured. Since there is not much settings, it's pretty straightforward. We need to only concentrate on the file hash and the file name, etc., and the elevation type and the child process. So right now everything is configured, and we can click on configure once you confirm everything is correct. So for the interest of time, I already created this policy. You can see over here there is one policy I configured yesterday. So same policy, and I targeted to my test PC, test cloud PC. So you can see the policy went success and it's showing as succeeded one. So right now we'll check how the behavior is. So if I'm trying to access, so few application I downloaded in downloaded folder, and I'll try to run the WinRAR application, right click and run with elevated access. So it's asking for the business justification. As I already mentioned, our default settings policies, it will always ask the user to give some business justification, and it will go to Intune portal, and Intune admin can verify and approve or deny the request. That's the default behavior. So you can check other app also. Just I'm giving cancel over here. The VNC Viewer also having the same capacity. That is the default. That is the default elevation. Okay, so right now we need to check the VNC Viewer because we are explicitly denied this one. So I'll just click on right click on the VNC Viewer and run with elevated access. Yeah, you can see over here it's straight away giving error, something like you can't run this as administrator. Your organization does not allow to run this app as administrator, and this is the error code, and it will clearly contact your support person for more information. And this is how we can configure the explicit deny policy elevation. Right now I am configured only for one particular application, but you can configure multiple the elevation rule policy on the same policy, elevation behavior on the same policy itself. So yeah, I'll just show you where you can add multiple elevation behavior. So once you can click on configuration settings. So there is an option to add multiple elevation behavior in the same policy itself. So based on your requirement, you can configure accordingly. Again, one policy you can mentioned as denied, and other policy you can go for some other elevation type. So that also possible. So this is the latest addition Microsoft just one month back recently added, and it's giving lots of advantages. If some devices having the malicious content, and we already know the malicious content is about the attributes and all, we can explicitly deny those contents, and it's useful actually. And this is how the end result will be, and I think that's all I have about the denial elevation request policy. Denial elevation rule policy.